batch updates. Jeff, I think we have a poll question on the batch updates before we get started.
We do.
Okay, guys, batch updates can update what inventory information? All of the general tab information, the default and sell price levels, inventory recounts, or all of the above? Okay, guys, if you answered the question, you're right, because the true answer is all of the above. We're going to show you here in just a few seconds how to go ahead and update the general information. That we're then going to show you how to update the sell prices, and we're going to also do an inventory recount. So let's take a look at the batch update. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my software. What I'm going to do a batch update, I'm just going to stay with the list that I imported. And what I need to do is identify those items that I want to update. I can select the items off of this screen by simply highlighting any one or combinations, or I can grab the top item, go all the way down to the bottom using my shift key. So understand that I'm going to make an update, a common change to all of the items I have selected. When I select batch update, this is a review opportunity for me to make sure that I've selected the right items. And if there's anything on this list that I didn't want to select, I can remove it, or I can refine my search. Okay, either way I wanted to go about. This is just an opportunity to review. On the next screen, today we're going to focus on updating material information. You'll see I've selected 64 items. It identifies the part numbers. Let's go to the next screen. I'm sure if you've been on some of the other seminars or in the software, this is all the information off of the General tab. If I want to make changes to any of these, I simply check the box. If I wanted to move these inventory items to a different profit center or service category, I just select it from the drop-down list. Okay. What I'm going to do an update on today is going to be a definition, a part terminology for all these items. They're all tires. So then I can easily go in and just say, let's look for a tire in the part terminology. About 7 clicks down, we're going to see tire. So I'm going to, this is going to affect all the items in the background. I want to set my default supplier now. I selected none when I did the import. Now I'll come back and identify who the supplier is, and I buy these from the tire warehouse. I also think it'd be a good idea that I put some low and high order quantities in for my inventory reorders. So I want to reorder at 1, and I want to keep 4 of these on the shelf. So any of the boxes you see on the screen are batch update options. Once I've got my update information in, next, do my batch update, wait till it says completed. Okay, now if I go look at any one of these tires, you're going to see my supplier, you're going to see my definition, you're going to see my reorder points. So it works really, really good and easy when it's done properly. So that's updating the material information. Let's come back to the presentation for a second, just do a quick review. Search and select the inventory items that you want to update. Use the parameters, use the column headers to sort and organize. We've covered all this in some of the other seminars. Select, meaning highlight all the items that you want to update. Select the batch update. Then you'll have the review or refine your search screen. Know this, everybody, that all the items that you select to update are going to be updated with whatever entries or edits you've made. So just let that be known, because that's an area that a lot of people kind of get confused with. Okay. All right, so to update the inventory information, bring the items up on the batch update, check the box, edit the field, use the drop-down list if you're changing profit centers or service categories, suppliers, unit conversion, or type, meaning inventory or consignment. Set a definition. You'll use the binoculars to launch the part terminology. Understand, whatever you select for the part terminology is going to affect all those items. Add or edit any other fields as you desire. It's entirely up to you. The poll question is, inventory sell price levels can be set up using what pricing types? A fixed price, a cost plus or minus a percentage, commonly referred to as markup, or plus or minus a dollar value. Manufacturer's suggested retail price, plus or minus percentage, or dollar value, gross profit margin, or all of the above. What a class we've got here today, everybody. Be sure and pick up your reward on the way out today. Everybody got it right, so all of these can be updated. Let's go in and take a look at how that's going to work, okay? My same inventory list, you guys know when I imported this, I imported a cost and I imported a manufacturer's suggested price. Now, unless I have a pricing type in, okay, all the levels are going to pick up the same price. So I haven't done any pricing. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it through a batch update. So again, I'm going to go in here and grab all the items that I want to update the pricing on. Just as a footnote to you, if you have different pricing for different cost ranges, you can organize the list by the cost. In other words, maybe I use a different margin on everything that cost me under $200 than I would use on items that cost me over. So what I'm going to do is just grab that list. Okay, so just remember, you can organize these to grab the items that you want to do the update to if it's not all. I'm going to go ahead and grab all the items. I'm going to go back to batch update. This is my review or opportunity to add or remove items. I'll move to the next screen, and we're going to do a update inventory material sell price levels for one or more of the price levels. So here I am with my pricing. My default sell pricing I like to set because that's commonly what I look at when I go to the inventory, and let's just say I'm going to do my default at manufacturer's suggested retail price, so straight manufacturer's suggested retail price. But I have different price levels in my system, so I'm going to set level 1 at a different way. So it could well be that I want to say we're going to use a 25% or a 20% gross profit margin for level 1. I'm going to go into level 2, and on level 2, let's do a cost plus 30%. On level 3, let's do manufacturer's suggested retail price plus 10%. And on level 4, okay, I can do virtually cost plus $10. So you guys see, each one can carry its own pricing structure. Normally, these are designed for different customers, okay, but however you want to use it. Next, click Start to begin, 64 items. Wait till it says completed. Close. Let's go take a look at any one of these items. If I go to pricing, my default sell price, I set at manufacturer's suggested retail price. That's a 32.72% gross profit margin. Price level 1 was at 20% margin. Price level 3, cost plus 30%. Manufacturer's suggested retail plus 10. And then I've got a cost plus $10 in here. So all of these items are going to carry that exact same pricing. So just remember, you need to understand whatever you select is going to update with the information you enter. A quick review. When we want to do the update, check the box for the price level. Select the price level type. You guys all know you got all of these right. Good work on your part. Okay, the default sell price will apply to all price levels unless a change is applied to the specific price level. Meaning if all I do is set my default price, all the price levels below are going to pick that up. If I want different pricing structures for different pricing levels, then I will enter those. And each individual price level can have a different price level type, as you guys just saw. So hopefully this will shed some light and you can take a little more advantage of some of these tools and save yourself a tremendous amount of time. The last thing we want to talk about today is going to be updating the inventory quantities. This is going to be 2 steps. And we've got some great utilities in the software to actually help you with these. So what we're going to do, the best practice on updating inventory quantities is a 2-step. First of all, you want to get the list of inventory out so you can enter your recounts. To export the inventory, we recommend you export your inventory recount file from utilities using the inventory option. Identify those items that you want to do recounts to. I'm going to go to that same profit center. I'm going to go to that service category. I'm going to create that list. These are the same 64 items I imported and did my batch updates to. Highlight any or all of the items that you want to export for recount. I'm going to take all the items and I'm going to select Export to Excel. These are temporary files, although you guys may, reuse them, and you certainly can. I'm just going to put it up on my desktop, making it easy to get to. I'm going to call this inventory recounts. You can put dates in it, whatever you want. It's just a file name. So the system's going to ask you, where do you want to store this export and what name do you want to give it? I'm going to click on Save, and we've successfully exported this. Let's go take a look at the file we just exported. And I'm not going to be able to get to my desktop unless I shut down the show here. So let me go out. This is the file that I just exported. If I open it up, the reason we like to suggest to use the utilities export is because it's clean information and you're going to get a column that has an entry for your quantities. I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to make this real easy. I'm not going to go out in my stock room. I'm just going to say I've got 4 of all these tires. Now obviously you guys would be doing your entries per tire. Make your new entries for the new in-stock values. Save that file with the changes. Close the file up. Let's go back to the presentation here, if I can just find it right there, and we'll go back to the slideshow. Okay, so essentially we wanted to export that file, and that's essentially what we did. So go into your system. We recommend to go from utilities to inventory, search and select the inventory items that you want to do recounts to. Use your search parameters, use your column headers, however you want. Highlight those items and export them. Step number 2, select a destination and a file name. So I put it on my desktop. I called it inventory recounts. You guys can put it wherever you want, okay? All right, enter your in-stock values, okay? And then, of course, you want to save the file with the new in-stock values. So make changes, save the file with the new values. The next step, once we've got that done, we're ready to process the batch update. So let's actually head back into the software. Now, my batch updates do not work from inventory search. Okay, so I'm going to go back to setup, and this is where my batch updates are. Now again, I want to identify which items am I going to do recounts to. So I'm going to select all those items that were on that export list. I'm going to select batch update. Again, I have the opportunity to review the file. Next, and now what we're going to do is inventory recount quantities. Next, select the file. Where did I make those changes? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my desktop, and I'm going to have a file out here called inventory recounts that was done today. So there's the alignment for the file. Next screen, you'll notice 3 boxes at the bottom that need to be aligned to the inventory items, so we can designate, you know, this item gets 4, this item gets 2. So all we do is align those columns. Align the part number down here to the part number up here, and you'll see it shades it. Manufacturer to manufacturer. Quantities to in stock, which is where I made my changes. So align those 3 columns. Next, start. Wait till you see complete. Close. And now if I just refresh this screen, guess what, guys? In stock. 4 in stock. So those inventory quantities now went in, okay, and that's what it's showing as in stock. If you guys think about it, we just took 64 inventory items, we imported them, we batch updated the information, meaning the supplier, the reorder points, the definition. We did another batch update to update the pricing, and then we just went in and did our inventory recounts. I'm glad to say that it only took us about 35 minutes to do that. So I think you can see some really big time savings, but it's just like a pocket knife. You know, if you don't know how to use a pocket knife, you're going to cut yourself. Okay, so use a little caution. So let's close this off. Okay, select search and select for the items to be recounted. From the action menu group, select your batch update. Select the recount inventory quantities. Align the columns with the fields at the bottom. Click Start, and all your stock values are going to be updated. One note of caution, like everything else when we started this inventory, all your changes in the values will be recorded in your general ledger, and it's going to hit 2 accounts. One is your asset account for stocking inventory. The other is your expense account for inventory recounts. So I just took 64 items, some of them costing $150 up to $200 or more, and I recounted all those by 4. So just so that you understand, if we go look at my general ledger now, 2 accounts have been affected. Stocking inventory has been affected because these are the values. I did a recount, so these are all posted in my general ledger. Okay. Also in the general ledger, the offsetting effect of your inventory recounts is going to be the expense account, okay, which is going to be called inventory adjustments. And if I look at my inventory adjustments again today, you'll see those values have to go somewhere in the general ledger. If you don't pay attention to your general ledger, that's fine, no effect. But understand, each of those tires carried a value, and that value is then brought through into your general ledger. Has to go somewhere.